of the Oracles. My name is Manelisi, and I am with the superstar Oracle Z Mazibugo. Z, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Awesome. I'm good, man. It's actually quite sad having to do this episode today. I actually had something planned for it, but I don't know. I actually couldn't. I won't be able to get through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, decided not to do what I was planning to do. So we're just going to talk about it. Starting off this episode, everyone already knows what I'm on about, the passing of AKA and Tibz over the weekend, last week Friday.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I actually woke up to the news on Saturday morning, and still, even today, it's Tuesday, and I'm still not able to shake the whole thing off.
It's so wild. I've been working the entire day and I've literally been working since like 9. I didn't close my laptop, I just closed it because I'm using it now. But
Yeah,
now, because I've just been, work is a lot, yes, but I've just been using it to mask a lot of things, you know?
yeah,
Because every time I pick up I haven't been on TikTok. I deleted my TikTok because I really couldn't. It took me back to when
yeah,
Ricky passed. I couldn't. I don't have Twitter anymore because of that. Instagram, I feel like it's better because I still feel like I have some control over it, over what I can see, Although not fully
yeah,
because Instagram at times gives you things on your feed from people that you don't even follow. Because right now, as I just said, I just knocked off. I went to my Instagram and the first thing I saw was Lynn and Nadia. I think they had like a press
yeah,
conference earlier today. I literally just saw
yeah,
them walking in all black and I just closed my Instagram. Like I'm finding it so hard to be on social media. I'm not going to lie. I'm finding it so hard because I feel like everything is just a trigger because it's not only a thing of I'm seeing Keenan or I'm seeing Tim. All the pictures that I'm seeing is not just the two of them. It's people posting them together with Orikirik. It's people posting Keenan with WHP. People posting Keenan with Pro Kid. And it's just like, there's no way, guys. There's no way. There's no way.
it's
Yo,
yeah, it's a lot because also with myself on, I mean, I haven't gone off any social media as yet. I think in some ways I'm able to handle this whole thing. But every time I go onto Instagram, the first post that I always see, that I usually see, is one where someone has posted something about AKA. And the most prominent person actually on my feed is Nevo. Nevo, I know you worked with AKA. I think it
mhm,
might be his manager or whatever.
mhm,
And I actually started following Nevo because I was looking to get in touch with him with
mhm,
regards to having AKA on the podcast with us. But that was actually for a bit later on because,
mhm.
like, and this is something that you and I have talked about, that there's certain people that at this point we cannot talk with
Yeah,
simply because of the time constraints and the distance.
yeah.
There's people that we need to have in person,
In person, yeah.
be sitting with them and talking to them in person. And AKA is one of those people, or at least was one of those people. And
Yeah.
now it's something that will never happen at all.
And I think for me, that's the biggest thing. Like, I'm, I'm still in denial. Mindless, I'm not going to lie to you. It just,
Yeah,
guys, it's not registering. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like I'm going to wake up from the stream. I feel like I'm going to
yeah,
because also the way I was sleeping. Like, I sleep late. I'm a 12 a.m. daily, right? But something in me
yeah,
on Friday was like, just sleep, man. Like literally at 5 past 10, I closed TikTok. I locked my phone, switched off my alarms because I was on work in the weekend. I slept and I was out throughout the night, right? And wake up in the morning around 6 a.m. I see a text from one of my friends. He's a producer. He was with AKA actually on Tuesday for the listening session for
yeah.
Math Country.
This
I
country,
see
yeah,
a text from him. It's after midnight. And I see a text from my best friend. It's just before midnight. And I'm like, mm. In my head, I'm thinking it's probably something happened within our circle because the boys go out
yeah,
a lot. So I'm thinking maybe something happened, but I'm like, no, let me go brush my teeth. I had a headache. Let me drink grandpa. Come back to my bed and see what's going on. So I pray, I get out of bed, I brush my teeth, I come back. As I'm walking into my room, I open WhatsApp, and the first text I see from him is like, after I read this, close your phone, stop your phone and close all social media apps. I'm like, okay, what the hell? I open my best friend text, and she's like, AKA and Tibz with the heartbreak sign. Then I go to statuses. Literally every status I saw was Kenan's face, and I just knew. So I open the status, I see Kenan. The next one I see Tibz. I'm like, what the hell? And the minute I saw Tibz, I was hyped up at Kenan. But when I saw Tibz, the tears just dropped. I literally left my room and I ran to my sister's room. And I think for me, I cried because I had literally dreamt of Tibz passing away a day prior.
Yeah.
Like literally, I think that's what for me shook me. Like it shook me to the core. I was like, what the hell? I cried. I think I cried for 2 hours straight on Saturday morning. I was like, there's no way. And I'm like, yes, who would want to kill Kenan, guys? For me, that's the thing. Yes, Kenan was arrogant, but he was a nice person. Kenan was a nice person, guys.
Yeah, because you can actually just see with everyone that is talking about it, everyone that is sad. I mean, a lot of people are actually posting pictures, random people posting pictures about him, and the captions are always how he's such a cool person. I actually saw a post from a lady on Twitter. She actually took a photo with him as well as her son at the airport. I think it was in Durban. Yeah, on the day. Yeah, and she was saying that how cool of a person he was, that he was even playing around with this kid. So it's I mean, even musically, it's just a huge loss. Lost such a genuine person. And the thing about Kenan was that he was such an open book. He wasn't afraid to say exactly what he thought and how he felt about people. So that's what makes it even more personal, because it was a lot different from other celebrities that we see on a daily basis on social media and on TV and on radio and everywhere else. That he just said what he felt he wanted to say. And I actually remember that interview we had on 947 with what's her name? She does the drive on 947. I keep forgetting, and she's very, very popular. They were having the interview with Costa sometime last year, I think. I think it was sometime last year, where they were and she asked him about the whole Anele thing. And he just said straight up that he doesn't want to talk about that. Also, one of my colleagues as well, when he was doing Drive, but for which album the AKA was doing a promo for. My colleague Big Zill was asking him about the whole Casper beef thing, and he just said, "Listen, this is not what I want to talk about. I'm here to talk about my album." And it's very straight up about what he wanted to say and how he felt. There was no press responses, no diplomatic responses. He just said what he wanted to say.
Like, it's so weird how we're speaking of him in the past, bro. Like, he was such and such. I'm sorry, I'm going to be out for most of this episode because I really can't. It just doesn't make sense. Like how he's speaking of Kenan in the past. And one thing about me, you know this with me, right? As much as I love hip hop as a whole, I'm a local hand.
Yeah.
Like my playlist is always, you know how Spotify will make those daily playlists that I made for you? Now my first one is always a local mix. Like, I'm a my E hand, I'm a KO, I'm a Cresta Babe, I'm a Dalez hand, that's the thing, that's the music I listen to. So now it's a thing of, this person has always been on the playlist. It's always been on the radar. But now when I was working out yesterday morning, every song that came on, AKA, I'm like, nah, bro. This morning, same thing. But I'm like, it's not like you went searching for these songs. You've been playing him, Because right now I know with a lot of people, they played him Kakulu since like after what happened, And now that's why it's on everyone's high rotation. Go on Instagram, it's that. But for me, I'm like, he's always been. You literally were listening to Lemonade on Friday when you were waking up. You were listening to Prada. You were listening to Victula. You've always been. But now it's like you're listening to, because literally that's what's on everyone's high rotation. So obviously Spotify is going to give you that first. And I'm just like, it's wild. It is wild.
And when you talk about the musical part of it, he gave us timeless music. He gave us music that you can go back to any of his albums, all of his albums. You can go back and listen to, because it hasn't always been about what is hot now or what is happening now. Even though he would sometimes dabble in that, but he always looked at the bigger picture when he was making the music. How are people going to feel about this a year from now? How are they going to feel about it 5 years from today? How are they going to feel about this after I'm gone? And that's where he was mentally. That's where he was whenever he was in the studio. So it's a huge loss. We didn't just lose an incredible person, but we lost a proper artist. We lost a proper musician.
And it's so wild. When was it? I think 2 weekends ago. I could be mistaken, but I was with my friend. I was telling you about earlier that is a producer, and I was talking to him about Kenan. Actually, I'm like, dude, I love the space that Kenan is in. Yes, forget the weight gain. That's where you see that a person is happy. But forget that. Literally, he's in a good space in a sense of he can hear it in his music. Like I was listening to Prada the other day, and like, this is amazing, And even the way he interacts on social media now, you could tell that he's actually at that point where he's happy. Because you can tell when AKA is not okay. Like he was just, there's a year where AKA was just going on a rampage on Twitter. And now you look at him and you're like, nah, he's actually happy. So when I was with him in studio on Tuesday, when they're doing the listening session, I remember he texted me like, bro, it's such a vibe here. Like what you were saying about Kenan, literally, it's just, he's in that space. So on Saturday, when people were posting pictures and everything, he posted that picture, like he posted the picture from Tuesday when they did the session, and he was like, how the fuck was I supposed to accept this when this was just like literally 3 days ago? I was with him in studio 3 days ago. And that's the fucked up thing about this. Excuse my language, but literally that's the messed up thing about this, because a person is with you right now. Sudden death for me is a problem. I feel like a person should be sick, Car accidents and violence like that are crazy because I was just with you.
Yeah. And, KO also posted a video and a picture just today on Twitter saying that 7 days ago, they were in studio together, basically doing a follow-up on John Josie, because it's been a while since they actually did a track together. And now they were recording one exactly 7 days ago. And 7 days later, KO has to put up that post. It's just crazy.
And then only one thing I want.
The case of Tibz, because with
before we go to Tibz, I just want to ask one thing from everybody. Can we just stream the hell out of Mad Country on the 27th? Like, I feel like as a tribute, let's just stream the hell out of that album.
So can we what? What Mad Country?
Can you stream the hell out of Mad Country on the 27th?
Oh, yeah.
As a tribute, as the country, may our playlist just be that when it drops?
Yeah, I think everyone will actually be listening to it when it drops. Everyone will be listening to Mad Country. It will be a disservice if no one listens to it, if you aren't listening to it, because we have to be streaming that album.
Even with tears rolling down our face, we have to. We really do.
And the funny thing is, Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the thing is, I feel like he might actually get gold on the first day,
Yeah,
uh, just from Mass Country, which is
yeah.
quite sad because it's going to happen after he's gone. He hasn't lived to see the day happen, but I think it might actually happen.
And I remember I saw a tweet from him. Somebody was asking him when is it going blonde or platinum again. Remember how he dyed his hair blonde a while back? And he's like, I'll do it as soon as Mass Country goes platinum.
Yeah,
So now it's gonna go platinum, but we won't see the platinum AKA.
and I think that was his last tweet actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and the thing is, that I think that was his last tweet actually.
And that's crazy. And speaking of AKA and Tibz, I never knew. I literally knew Kenan from
Yeah,
Tibz. I didn't know Kenan from Entity. But before my days. But I was introduced to Kenan via Tibz,
yeah,
Ivy League, and all of that. So
yeah,
we lost a lot, man. Tibz was such, guys. Tibz was an asset to the industry, and not just the music industry, but entertainment as a whole. Tibz gave people careers. Tibz gave people jobs when
yeah,
he still ran the club, when he still had the show love event. People became businessmen because of Tibz. He gave people opportunities.
yeah,
People would handle the bar. He gave hostesses jobs. Like it was vital for the industry. This not just music, the entertainment industry as a whole.
yeah, definitely. Because when you talk about Tibz, we're actually talking about the person who actually gave us AKA.
Exactly.
Because I remember AKA back from NTT. It was also during the days when I think I was still in high school around the time.
Mm-hmm.
So early in the morning, because I can't remember which channel it was. It might have been SABC One or something. Early
Mm-hmm.
in the morning, obviously when you getting ready for school, you have the TV on, and there's always music videos that were
Yeah.
always on in the morning. So I do remember him from those early mornings. Yeah, from I forgot which video it was actually, but I remember it was like very dark.
Mm-hmm.
That video, and there's I think AKA does his verse when he's next to a fence or something, if I remember very well. But I
Oh,
have to go
I know
back to
the
that
video
video,
you're talking about. I know
just
it.
to
Yeah.
just to make sure. But when he went solo, yeah, yeah, yeah. So when he went solo, I couldn't at the time. I actually couldn't because when NTT came out, it was still new. You never really take notice of the individuals. You're
Yeah.
always looking at the group as a whole. And when the group breaks up, that's quickly, that's soon. You never really get to immediately
Give them a chance.
take them back to entity unless you
Yeah.
actually know them very well. Yeah, unless you know them very well. It took a while for me to actually remember. We see AKA was actually part of
Entity.
entity before he went solo. Yeah. So Tibz gave us AKA. He's done so much in entertainment as a whole, in
As a
music as
whole.
a whole. Yeah, and Luis Ogola as well was put up a thread.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was yesterday or the day before, where he was saying, would see, um, AKA's debut album. Um, he Tibbs was actually the producer on that album. And he was saying that Tibbs never wanted to do an album without any skits. So those skits, Alois Okola, that we hear on the album, it's because of
Tips.
Tibbs. He's the one that actually asked Loisa to do those skits.
As when you think back, there's so many things that Tibalo was important to the culture for. I remember how much I wanted head honcho when I was in school. And
Yeah.
when you're still a student, and there's difference between varsity student and high school. Varsity, you get a bit of
Hey, dude.
money. a bit of money getting and not. But
Yeah.
high school, you're like, hey, I don't have money, but I want.
Yeah.
Man, like, when I told that I used to live and die for Head Honcho. And then I think back, it's literally because of Kinnan and Tibz. We never, like, literally, they put us on as a country. Everyone wanted the
Yeah.
Stay t-shirts. Everyone wanted that Head Honcho with the Bulls t-shirts, you know. Everything was, they had the game. Literally, they had it here. The caps, the entire trip, the music, the style, the events people went to.
Yeah.
It's a thing of, if it's an event curated by Tibz, I want to be there. Like, before my time, I couldn't go out, but you're like, man, if I was older, you know, and older people were going to those events because Tibz was that good in creating those events. He was bringing the artists people want to see. He was bringing the AKA that he gave us, you know. So, it's a huge loss, man. Huge, huge, huge.
Yeah, and you know the thing is, yeah, it's a very, very huge loss. And now that you actually remind me of Head Honcho, I've been wanting to actually work with them, but I realized while I was chasing them, that they actually stopped making clothing, that they stopped operating.
Yeah.
But I actually have one. I still have a Head Honcho T-shirt, but it's a bit small now. It doesn't fit anymore, but I still have it in my wardrobe. Yeah, it's printed "Wolf of All Streets," which I think was one of their last pieces of clothing that they actually made. Yeah, I think it was the last few that they made. Yeah, and you know, because you could actually go to Shesha and find Head Honcho clothing there. Now all you find is Bhutan, which is quite sad. But I really feel like I really wish that Head Honcho continued making clothing.
Yeah,
but it's unfortunate that they stopped.
It really is, man. It's unfortunate, honestly, because it could have been bigger. I really believe it could have been bigger, but we don't know the main reasons they stopped. Because I feel like they also branched out into a lot of different things. Even Tibelo himself went on to focus on his chef situation, going into the wine industry and doing a lot of those things. So it's been quite a loss, man. When you think about it in every sense of the word, it's been quite a huge loss.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that? I keep losing you.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm saying it's a loss in every sense of the word, because you think about all the things that he was a part of, and all of those things now are basically just memories.
Yeah, and you know, another thing is that I'm so happy actually that I was able to see AKA perform at least once. When I saw him perform at Back to the City last year, my first Back to the City, AKA's last. It's just. And it was an amazing performance. And remember that I actually talked about this. I said this last time, that AKA, what was that?
No, I'm saying it was the best performance ever.
I was saying that AKA he gave, it was the best performance of the evening. And now, and the good thing is that we're not just saying this now because it's gone, but we did actually say this. After Back to the City. So there are receipts about us saying this. You know, it was an incredible performance. It was the only person actually, even on the night, who brought out Osmic, who made Osmic come on stage, who picked him up in his old Rolls Royce. So it was a really, really amazing performance, and I'm happy that I was actually able to see him at least once. And it also changed my mind about how I feel with rappers using live bands, because of how great he actually uses his band and he uses his backup singers. Yeah. So it's an incredibly, incredibly huge loss. And it's something I feel like we're going to feel for a very long time.
Yeah, we definitely are, because I feel like we literally still mourning Ricky. Personally, every time I hear Ricky's song, I'm in my feelings, you know, and it's already a year later. So I'm like, we haven't healed from Ricky. We haven't healed far from it. We haven't healed from Ricky. And now there's another addition to that. It's a whole lot of WTF moments, like what's going on? How are we going to move on? Like, how are we going to move forward? The music lives on, yes, but when you listen to the music, it's gonna trigger us. A great deal, even.
It is. It is. But unfortunately, life has to go on, and you have to try as best as we can to move on, even though it's really going to hit us for a while. But we're definitely going to find a way at some point.
Oh man, as I said, the music lives on. That's what's going to heal us. That's what's going to get us through.
Yeah.
And speaking of the music, actually,
anyway, but I think
to a lighter note, I was looking at Touchline's stories and Instagram posts the other day. He did something amazing on Saturday.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I'm like not a packed out house like that. Not my boys who drove from Midland.
It was actually it was sold out. It sold out.
Sold out before the day even. Like literally, I think was it Monday when we spoke about it. It was already sold out. I'm like, okay, screw me then. Clearly, I'm not going.
Yeah. Because I actually saw the post on his WhatsApp status a couple of weeks ago, when he was saying he'll be hosting Bass at that event. And unfortunately at the time we still hadn't come back to hadn't come back to record. But yeah, he was saying that he'll be hosting Bass, and then like I think a week or two later, I saw him putting up the post again saying that the event is sold out, which is quite amazing actually, and it's pretty cool for him to actually and he was hosting. He was hosting, and it's a huge thing. I feel like right now he's starting to get his proper recognition.
Yeah.
As an artist. So I think that like this year, like a lot of things are going to pop up because with Touchline, actually, people are going to see him like as an overnight success. But he has been pushing, has been working very hard. I remember in I think it was 2021. I think, 2021 when I first spoke with him. It wasn't last year that I first spoke with him.
Yeah, your first time was 2021.
Or was it? No, it was last. I can't remember.
We had the interview last year.
Yeah, it wasn't 2021, but.
When we had ours, was last year, but I think you spoke to him prior.
This interview with him last year. Yeah, I remember because it was in February actually, or was it January? I can't remember that I first spoke with him. I think it was in 2021. In March, he was going to have his one-man show. Yeah, it was 2021 because it was going to be an online thing. He was having he had a one-man show that was online. Unfortunately, I actually missed it. I couldn't see it. But for someone to be trying to push those boundaries like that, as a solo artist, as an independent artist, even, and now starting to host guys like Bass, and I can guarantee you that Bass, being the kind of person that he is, he's going to take Touchline to the US at some point, and I feel like once it goes there, it's going to be really big. And is going to get more appreciated over there than it is over here.
And I think it'll work in his, like, for the type of artist that he is, it's going to work. Because one thing about Touch raps. And I feel like that's the type of artist that Bass is as well. It's all about the hip hop, all about the rap, So also, I feel like that's why there's collaboration over the weekend worked, because they're all about the rap. They're all about hip hop. They're giving us lyricism. So I feel like that's why that partnership would work. And if there's anyone who's happy to see Touch win, is me. I remember when I was 2020 or 2021, between those 2 years, I used to have when you travel with people to work, and that days where whoever's gonna play music, they play music. And I was playing that day before I played. So before I'm going to my playlist, then I play the music. As I play, one of those guys I travel with was like, I just knew she was gonna play Touchline. I knew it. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you always listening to Touch. I'm like, not always. He's like, that literally, you're always listening to Touch. And when that was like 2020, 2021. And then I say where he's at right now in 2023, I'm happy that he was able to remain consistent and continue to push, because it's not easy being an independent artist, especially in this country. It's not easy being a rapper, because I feel like a lot of people gravitate to people who are, for lack of a better word, skr niggas, the niggas who are pushing trap. Especially, that's the case everywhere in the world, but especially in South Africa.
I
feel like people here don't want to hear people rap.
That's
my opinion. That's why you never get the numbers that who's this, like your concert stations are pushing compared to your envy, because envy is rapping, So I feel like most of the time locally, people don't want to hear rap. And Touch does that. That's why I'm happy to see him win, because like, much as he can be fun, he raps.
Generally with South Africans, we do not listen to lyrics. We do not listen to a message that is being said on a song. If a song is going to have a dance, that's why songs that have dance moves, that introduce new dance moves, tend to be more popular than songs with a strong message, with proper lyrics. And it's at most times even the dance moves are much better than the songs themselves. When you actually listen to a song, with the dance move, you can just you hear these people can't really be serious about having released this thing. But it is what it is. So it's unfortunate that we do not listen to lyrics, and that's why even these mumble rappers also basically taken over. They've been hard for quite a couple of years now. Simply because people do not care about the lyrics as much. They only care about how the music makes them feel. They care about the beats and they care about the melody, but the lyrics they don't really care about.
What you're talking about right now, about how dancers normally just like make a song or whatever. At times the dance is not even that amazing, right? But the song is gonna pop, and I'm gonna go back to an artist that I believe in with everything in me. KO. KO is an amazing lyricist. KO for me, one of the greatest in the country. But look at KO's work, where there's no dance or there's no hot chorus, and compare that song to Ikarakara. People will always highly rate Ikarakara as one of the greatest songs. I'm like, it was big, yes. That doesn't mean it was the best. Lyrically, for me, being a KO fan, a staunch KO fan, I'll tell you for free, it's not one of his greatest songs. Because I listen to lyrics. I am that person. So I feel like locally people just gravitate towards the vibiness of the song. The more vibey it is.
And that's also why Kwaito was so hard at some point, because Kwaito was just a couple of words. It was maybe like 4 bars and an entire song. It's just like 4 bars being said, repeated over and over again. And it became huge hits, huge radio hits. But today, we no longer have Kwaito, we have Amapiano. And now Amapiano, every week, there's a new dance that comes out. It's basically the new bubblegum in a sense. And I'm saying this out of respect for the genre.
But it is.
Because because there's a lot of guys who do great things with Amapiano, but with half of the work that is being put in is not being, they're not giving 100% as musicians. It's just about how is this song going to be hot,
It's releasing.
What kind of dance move are we going to
Yeah.
create with this one? And that's just about it. It's just marketing, basically. It's no longer music.
And you can tell because for me, the longevity of the song, right? And the essence, because I'd be lying to you right now if I can tell you that I remember the piano songs that dropped in December. I'd be lying to you because now they literally giving us
Yeah,
multiple songs every Friday. 'Cause I don't even know what most of
yeah.
these guys
This
look
December,
like. I can't keep up.
this December was a certain Lemons to Lemonade December. Oh, and also Igom with the Big Nas, and that was partly because Big Nas, or I mean, Mampincha passed on as well
You
with
understand?
Nyeri. But
Hmm.
I mean, generally that song was pretty interesting. Yeah, it was interesting on its own because
It
you
was,
can't hear what Mampincha is saying in the latter half of the chorus.
yeah,
But
just him Celeb.
yeah,
That's it.
but yeah, but yeah.
Literally.
That was basically it. But yeah, but it was a certain lemons to lemonade December, really.
Guys, I'm still asking, did you guys hear Nasty C on Lemons? Yo, one thing about Nasty C, guys, was verse, but he went in. Like
You know,
nasty raps, guys. Nasty. I was listening to is it Mrs. Me earlier from Strings and Bling.
uh,
Oh, nasty C, guys. Because I'm an old when it comes
yeah,
to music, man. I really enjoy old music. I don't know why. I'm that person who still stream to call Crystal's old albums, who stream Ricky Rick's old albums. I'm that person. It takes a while for me to actually move on, you know? Because I was listening to Strings and Blings earlier. I'm like, nasty C.
I was thinking about Nasty C's verse on lemons,
Mm-hmm.
lemons to lemonade,
Yeah,
and I was thinking to myself that a thesis could be written about that verse alone.
definitely.
It's such an amazing verse. It's beautiful.
No, it shocks me all the time, really. From the way he starts, man. Cause I think I'm obsessed with the verse. Personally, I think I'm obsessed with the verse. I'm not gonna lie to you. Master C is nice, man. Master C is really nice. Nasty raps. I think that's why I enjoy him. There are times where he doesn't want to rap, and I feel like he can get away with it. It's like, I'm Nasty C, you know. Then
Yeah.
there are days where he's like, nah, I'm gonna rap.
Yeah. And it was now that you actually think about it, it was such a beautiful thing for him um
What?
to give us that verse on Lemons. Yeah, because it was his last collaboration with AKA.
Yeah.
It's contributed to an album that is potentially going to be the biggest this year.
Hmm.
So it's just now to wait and see what these guys are going to give us eventually when Mass Country drops. But I'm actually hoping that they actually change it up a bit from what AKA wanted to do, as far as maybe adding some skits to the album with some of the things that they were saying in studio. I think it would be such a nice thing to do where we can hear them maybe joking around in studio
Yeah.
or having some or whatever. Because normally when you see videos of AKA, actually there was some footage, but now that they were working towards Mass Country. I think even when it was doing, I think you genuinely recorded
Hmm.
a lot of videos
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
it was in studio. So with some of those moments when they were just he was saying something to his producers because he always had something. He was very,
Something.
very serious when it
Yeah.
came to his music. If we could hear some of the things that he would say to his to the guys that he was working with, some things that maybe they were joking around
Yeah.
in studio, something to laugh about because it was also a bit of a clown sometimes.
Yeah.
If we could
Definitely.
actually hear that on the album and added skits, I think it would be an amazing thing to do.
I don't know. Thinking about it because I feel like there's a lot of gems. And knowledge, man. Knowledge that was shared. I really feel like, because as we said earlier, Kenan
Yeah,
was an artist. He wasn't just a rapper. He wasn't just a musician. He was an all-round artist. I mean, Kenan used to produce heavy with IVB. He
yeah,
still produced. So I feel like he was able to share insights in every sense of the word, from a musician point of view to a producer's point of view. I feel like he had great knowledge on both.
yeah. Because there was so much knowledge coming from him. And if you remember as well, the post that the clip actually that I put up in one of the episodes that we did after Lemons dropped, he was saying that they were at this house and where they were going to record this thing, and it was before they actually started on the song with Lemons as we know it. What you were saying was we've got all these producers in this room, and there's no reason why we cannot create a classic, why we cannot create the hottest song that people will ever hear this year, or whatever, things like that. That's the kind of talk that he would give right before they actually start working. And we can see the results actually from all of his music, the way that his music comes out, that he's always been serious. He doesn't just do music just because he can do it. And it's what he has decided that he wants to do. But he does music in a way that he did music in a way that he's very, very serious about what he's doing. And this is music that should stand the test of time, which I believe will. Definitely will.
Like every time I hear Victory Lap, I feel like it's the first time hearing it. It's just missing something. Like that's my favorite line on the entire song. Like literally, I'm gone already. I so jam all I know. I wanted all, like it dropped yesterday. That tells you what kind of artist he was. Because those songs literally dropped over a decade ago. It's over a decade ago, and to this day, if you drop Victory Lab at a groove place or whatever, kid you not, you will hear it.
Because I think this year it might have been clocking 16 years in music already. If my calculations are correct. If we say that he actually started out in 2007, this year would be 16 years doing this thing. And over the years, he also stood himself. He stood the test of time, just like KO, where it was relevant with us. Actually, it was relevant with people older than us when he came out with Entity. And today he was still relevant. He still is relevant with high school kids, with primary school kids. So over the years, he's been able to keep this around the same demographic, just growing it by the year, which is amazing. Not a lot of people are able to do that.
When you say only good music will last, that's what we're talking about. Only good music will last, man.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, Z, I don't know if you have anything else to share, to talk about.
Yeah, I honestly, I'd be lying. I've been in Croatia. When most of people saying Croatia, Croatia. But I think for me, it sucks that someone's death makes you realize how fickle this last thing is, and how much you need to love when you can. Because if there's one thing I saw from his videos, I'm not gonna say he lived his life, because he was still not done, but I feel like most of the time he had fun living his life. But look at the videos that were posted. I think maybe videos that you saw that he wasn't aware that they were taking a video of him. You could see, and even the times that he was away, he was happy. He lived and made sure that people around him felt his love. He was welcoming to people who are new to the industry, people who had 2 days in the industry. Like, oh, you Musaki's cool. Let's dance. Let's perform, He made people feel welcome. He didn't have this thing about, I've been around for 16 years, excuse me. Or, one thing about me that I really appreciate in people. I don't care how moneyed you are. I don't care how famous you are. I really appreciate it if not only do you greet when you enter a room, but you introduce yourself. And one thing about Keenan did that. And he never introduced himself as AKA. That's another thing that stuck with me. He would not get to a place and be like, hi, I'm AKA. No. He would get to a place, greet, and be like, oh, if a person doesn't know
always Keenan.
I'm Keenan. You understand? It's the smallest things that make you be like, damn, man.
Yeah.
You know? So I think for me, it's fact that someone's death makes you realize how fickle life is, or how much you need to appreciate it. But I think that's something we need to pick up from this, because when he was having those Jaeger bombs, he didn't think those were his last Jaeger bombs. When he was having that last, I didn't think that was his last meal, you know, and it was. So I think just appreciate every moment you get on this earth. I saw an interview of his where he was saying, not to sound cliche or anything, but it's just grateful for life. And that just stuck with me, because now I'm like, the same life he was grateful for was taken away from him at 35, still pretty young, still had a lot to live for, you know?
Yeah.
It's a lot, man.
Yeah. You know, he lived and he loved. So, you know, as the oracles, we send our love to his family, send our condolences to his family and his friends, those closest to him. It's sad that we have to say these words, and it's sad that this week's episode had to go this way. But you know that's how life is sometimes. You can never really prepare yourself for such a tragedy. But you know, God is with us. God loves us. You know, and we always going to, at least we still have the music from AKA to keep us going. You know, so we'll be fine. We'll be okay.
If there's one thing that's going to console us, is that don't forget to pray. That's what's going to console us. If Forbes ever falls, it's a cannonball.
Don't forget to pray.
Don't forget to pray, man.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Anyway, I don't want us to go back to how this episode started and all.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, it's been an amazing journey. It's been an amazing journey also seeing him grow. Because there was a time where he was super arrogant. You know, he was this untouchable guy. But over the years, you've seen him.
He grew up.
You've seen it. Over the years, we've seen him. We've seen him grow. We've seen him change. We've seen him make better decisions for himself and Cairo. You know, but at least you can also say that he was now in a much better place than when he was in his earlier years, or even like 3-4 years ago.
True. That's what I was saying earlier, which I could see this guy is happier. So I think for me, as much as it sucks, it makes it better that he went out when he was in the space, happy and cool with everyone. Yes, there was that beef with Casper, but there was just a entertainment situation. It's like they were no longer in it with their hearts. Like, we're beefing, cool, entertainment, we're gonna entertain people. We're not fighting. So I think if there's anything to take from this, is that Uhambe and all of his,
there was no point in it anymore.
But I feel like everything that he was made apart was no longer made apart. You know, this is me just assuming from what I could see, looking from the outside. I feel like he was in a good space with everything and everyone.
Anyways,
I want to ask,
did you see a wonderful evening once again, and we'll be back again.
Excuse, before I let you go, did you see the t-shirt that Touchline dropped, the one he was wearing on Saturday?
Oh yeah, I actually saw it. I didn't take a good look at what was written, but I do remember that there's a lot of writing at the back.
Yeah, basically it's a summary of hunting for peace, hunting for love, happiness, and that's all you need to choose basically moving forward. It's very nice and it's quite reasonable. I need to get it for myself very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing t-shirt. Not gonna lie to you. I'm just trying to find
Yeah.
the words exactly because it even said there's a
All
message
right,
at the
cool. Actually,
bottom. It says, rest in peace to I think to the ones that we lost. While we're praying for better phones and better
yeah.
cars, they are praying for life. Something along those lines. It's a beautiful t-shirt. I love it when our artists spread
All right,
positivity.
cool. I actually have to find out how we can get those t-shirts.
Now I got you.
Yeah.
There's a link.
And
There's a link you must
it's high
follow.
time actually that we. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes. So the t-shirt says, happiness chasing,
I'll
love
actually also put up
pursuing,
the link in the description.
peace, peace hunting. Then it says, rest in peace, the ones
Yeah.
that God took instead of us. And while we pray for better phones and better cars, some people pray for one more moment with those they love. Touchline. I
You
love
know,
it.
and that's so deep, man.
Oh,
That's so crazy. Yeah. I'll actually put up the link as well in the description to this episode. So anyone who actually wants a t-shirt as well can follow that link.
and I'm definitely getting it.
Like
If
I'm
not
going to
this
follow it.
week.
I'm definitely getting that t-shirt.
Yeah, if not this week, I'm getting it next week. So it's like a business page. You follow the link, text them on WhatsApp, then you send proof of payment, then you give them your size, and there's two colors, there's white and black. I'm a black girl. I love black
Yeah.
everything, so I'm getting the black one. Support our local
Oh,
artists, man, guys. That's the word I'm
yeah.
going to leave you guys with. Support local.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Definitely. We are for local, man. We
Yeah,
are for local. We love it so much. And we have to. Yeah, it's something that we have to do. So I'm
all
definitely
the
getting a
time.
black one as well. If they have a white one, I think I might get that one as well. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So for me, it won't happen this week. It's a bit rough. So definitely next week. I'm
Yeah,
getting it.
that's why I said this week or next week I have to see if I can get to work this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I can get to work this week, then I'm getting it.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. All right. Yeah, but anyway, Z, thank you very much, man.
Thank
It's
you.
it's always beautiful having you. It's always beautiful having these conversations with
Yeah,
you, and I actually love that we ended on a high note.
yeah,
Something that we both needed. So we're definitely
definitely.
gonna have a good evening tonight. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, that's it from the oracles this week. We will be back again next week, and hopefully next week we will have a guest. There's something that I'm trying to put together,
Hmm.
but we'll be praying about it that it happens.
Definitely. Yeah. Don't forget to pray.
Yeah. So
It's all guys.
yeah. So that's it from us from the oracles. Don't forget to pray. Don't forget to pray. Yeah. We'll see you guys next week. Have a wonderful one. Cheers.